Well, I think anytime that you get out of the first game with a win and pretty much injury-free is a positive. Certainly, there's a lot of things we can build on from a week ago on both sides of the ball and in special teams. But all in all, it's easier to correct all that stuff when you win than would be if you lose.
All right. Questions for Coach Johnson? Please be sure to get a microphone.
I guess, are you going to shuffle offensive line this week or any kind of tweaks? Maybe
Possibly.
You were still kind of weighing that, and you weren't.
Yeah, we've got 8 guys or 9 that we're going to roll, and we'll see who ends up. Probably the starters will be a little different based off the last game.
Anytime you go up against a coach who's on your staff, do you have to make more adjustments than usual?
Not really. I mean, I think BJ's a good coach and he does a good job. And I've played against Charlie before when we were both coordinators. So, they're going to do their thing and we're going to do ours. And players will determine what happens.
Paul, you weren't particularly pleased with the offensive execution after the game Saturday. When you looked at the tape, was it more about mental mistakes or physical mistakes?
No, it's more just awareness and mental mistakes than the other. Yeah, I still wasn't happy with them after I watched the tape. We've got guys that have played over there that's ridiculous. I mean, even on plays we scored on, it's just like on Jordan's first touchdown, the third play of the game. I mean, we block it wrong, but we kill the guy so bad that we double team that it really didn't matter. But he shouldn't have been a double, and just things like that we got to correct against better people.
Can you talk a little bit about, I guess, kind of what you've seen from looking at USF on film and what you like, what kind of concerns?
Yeah, I mean they're a little bit different than what they have been. There's Mike Kelly. They're a little bit different than what they have been, in that the quarterback is probably not as much of a runner. But it's kind of the Art Briles, spread you out, kind of, zone run and, run pass option and that stuff. And the quarterback is a big guy, strong arm. Defensively, they really play hard and run to the ball. We've got some good athletes, so they got a good team. I mean, they won 10 games a year ago, and I think they're 17-3 or something in their last 20 games at home. So it's, wouldn't be my idea to go down there and play them on the road, but we are.
Ricky June was a big part of your blocking on the perimeter. You have Jalen Camp in his slot right now. What did you see from him in the blocking phase of the game, and did the return of Andrew Marshall help the perimeter game any?
Well, both Jalen and Brad are playing. I mean, we don't really have – I think Ricky played Z. Those guys rotate. It's kind of the same thing. Malachi Carter did okay. All of them, I think, had a little bit of first game figuring it out. You'd like to see that improved in the next game. There wasn't a whole lot on the perimeter, really. Probably the A's and the receivers played better than everybody else.
In terms of Taquan, we talked to Taquan yesterday, and he said that he felt like maybe he wasn't giving the offensive line enough time to get their checks and that kind of thing, and that he needs to be more cognizant that they're all on the same page. Was that something that you noticed kind of talking about?
Yeah, he needs to be more cognizant of his stuff. Yeah, he needs to worry about himself. Let the offensive line worry about the offensive line. They weren't the guys missing all the hot reads and the guys that were missing So we tend to want to blame everything on the offensive line all the time, and sometimes very much so, but it was more than the offensive line that was out of sync on Saturday.
He said that it helped when you came out in the second half and had him make a couple quick passes. Do you feel like maybe that's something you'll have to do with him from time to time?
Yeah, if he throws it better, then we'll throw it more. I'm not going to throw the ball to make anybody feel better. If you got to be able to complete them. I thought that he got some confidence going in the second half. The first drive, I told him at halftime I was a little upset in the locker room, and I told him we're going to run one play until we score. And then the second series, I wanted to throw the ball to see if we could go down the field throwing the ball. you know, I didn't feel like we were ever in any danger of losing the game. So there was things that I was trying to work on to do that. And to their credit, they were able to get down the, wasn't always pretty, but we hit enough plays to throw the ball, and I think they went 97 yards or something, so they got it down the field.
With DeQuan in the first half in particular, when he was missing guys, it seemed like he was some high a couple of times. Is that a technique matter that you see, or anything you put your finger on that way?
I think anytime that happens, it's a little of both. Sometimes there's some fundamental stuff that on the sprint out we can help him with that he didn't do a good job of, and we didn't do a good enough job coaching him on. And then sometimes you just got to throw it. I mean,
What was your evaluation of the new kickoff rule? You probably saw a little bit of some other games and then your own. I mean, you only got one.
We
in
had
your
one
game.
kickoff return. You know, a lot of people are fair catching them. I think if the ball's high and if your return team is not very good, and I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it that we probably won't know for 2 or 3 games.
Going back to DeQuan and throwing the ball, particularly in the first half when he struggled more, it looked to me like sometimes he would see a receiver that's so open, his eyes got so big that he just overcooked the ball. He overthrew. Literally, not only over people's heads, but he just tried to throw too hard.
You know, I think that sometimes that everybody makes such a big deal out of it that it probably makes him more antsy when he does it. My take on that, I've seen the kid throw the ball in practice. He can throw it. We just need to play better. You know, we need to help him with some fundamentals, and he needs to throw the ball better. Just relax and believe in yourself and trust it and play. If he'll do that, he'll be fine. Just look at what you're supposed to look at.
During that second drive of the second half where you passed the ball down the field, what was your evaluation of how the offensive line blocked as well as the B-back?
Yeah, you know, I thought the pass protection overall was pretty good for the most part. It'll be tougher as the competition gets better, but you know, most of the time that they were getting a lot of pressure, it was because they were bringing 7 and we had 6 to block. I mean, that's going to happen.
Blake Barnett, the South Florida quarterback, showed nice touch on some deep balls, and they had some speedy, big wideouts. I imagine that's something you're curious with because you didn't really get tested in that way.
Yeah, we're going to get tested this week. I mean, defensively, we weren't tested very much, and I don't think they threw more than 2 balls that went 10 yards down the field. So it'll be a different deal, and we'll have a better read. It's like I said, I'm not going to get too hepped up or too discouraged or too anything until you play a few games, and then you'll have a better idea where you are.
Anything else for Coach Johnson?
What are your hopes with the kickoff return, particularly with one hand back there?
That we would return one for a touchdown. I mean, just be better at it.
I mean, is it the you want to get anything in return not past the 30, or is it like even some sort of benchmark?
You'd always like to get it out far as you can get it. You know, the big thing is to not be tackled inside your 20-yard line. That's the key. If you can get it out to the 30 every time, that's great. But, you know, eventually you'd like to break one. It's been a while.
Other than Kenny, do you expect to get your other injured players back this week?
Who are you talking about?
Lamont and
Yeah,
Bruce Jordan.
Yeah, they're both back.
You're going back to the stadium where you won the championship in 09. I'm curious, what vivid memories do you have of that game?
09. I just remember going for it a lot on 4th down. And it seemed like both teams were scoring every time they had the ball. And we just happened to get last turn. I think maybe it was Derek Morgan or Boonaway or somebody got a sack right at the end when there wasn't much time left. But John Dwyer scored on one that I kind of drew up on the sideline during the timeout for him, and he scored, and we went ahead and was able to hold on.